Nintendo just announced that prices of Nintendo Switch consoles are going to go up, which is strange because consoles as old as the Nintendo Switch usually go down in price. On the more positive side, Mario Kart World has also been revealed to be incredibly popular with Nintendo Switch 2 users. Let's get right into today's Nintendo news. The first topic we'll be diving into today is the Nintendo Switch pricing update as quoted on Nintendo.com. On this page, there's a short article saying, quote, "Pricing for the original Nintendo Switch family of systems and products will change in the United States based on market conditions. Effective August 3rd, 2025. These include Nintendo Switch OLED model, Nintendo Switch Lite, and select Nintendo Switch accessories. Other Nintendo products including certain Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, select amiibo, and the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo will also see adjustments. Pricing for the Nintendo Switch 2 system, physical and digital Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as Nintendo Switch Online memberships, will remain unchanged at this time. However, please note that pricing adjustments may be necessary in the future. Now, you may or may not remember on this channel about a month ago, I covered this exact same situation, but it was happening in Canada. So it seems like Nintendo of America was planning to raise the prices of the Nintendo Switch all along, but they just didn't announce the price increase earlier. There's a couple of things about this article from Nintendo that I want to dive into, but first of all, what will these price increases be? As of right now, the official new prices are unannounced, but Wario64 over on X caught a screenshot from Target.com seemingly leaking the new prices. From this screenshot, it would appear that the base model Nintendo Switch is now $340 compared to the $300 price tag it's had all of its life. It would also appear that the Switch OLED is now $400 compared to the $350 price tag it's always had. And finally, the Switch Lite is apparently going to be $230 compared to the $200 price tag it's always had. Wario64 also noted that Alarmo is going up to $110 from the $100 price tag, and according to Wario64, the Joy-Con 2 controllers are going up to $100 from the $95 price tag they already had. That price is actually really crazy. I thought that the $90 price tag that these Joy-Con 2s had before the original tariff price increase came, which $90 already felt way too high, but then the $95 price tag that these Joy-Con 2 currently have is also insane, but $100? For the sake of my wallet, I really hope that Target is wrong with these Joy-Con 2 controllers because I wanted to buy another set, but $100? I don't know. Maybe in the long run it's not a big deal, but that's just an insane price. Going back to Nintendo's article on the Switch price increase, there are a few things that I want to go over here that I found pretty interesting. In the third paragraph of Nintendo's article, they went out of their way to say, quote, "However, please note that price adjustments may be necessary in the future." And in that paragraph, they were specifically referring to Nintendo Switch 2 systems, physical and digital Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 games, and Nintendo Switch Online memberships. Now, why would Nintendo be referring to Nintendo Switch Online memberships when they are completely a digital asset, something that tariffs or any market conditions wouldn't really affect? That leads me to wonder if Nintendo is seeing so much value in their Switch Online memberships because they've added so much over the years that they are considering raising the prices. Because honestly, Switch Online is a pretty good value for what it is right now. Nintendo's been adding a lot of content over the years that they've had Switch Online in place. I mean, for $20 a year in the base tier, you have online play, NES, SNES, Game Boy, Nintendo Music, Game Chat, Save Data Cloud, and special offers, all for just $20 a year. And there's the $50 a year expansion pack, which has everything that I mentioned before: GameCube for Nintendo Switch 2, N64, GBA, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition, Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition, both of which are upgrade packs, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, Animal Crossing New Horizons Happy Home Paradise, Splatoon 2 Octo Expansion, and Sega Genesis. And for $20 and $50 a year for both tiers, that's a pretty good deal. So I'm pretty curious if Nintendo is trying to justify a price increase, seeing that they have quite a few things in here for a pretty good deal, since they're basically hinting at a price increase in that article. Before we get into the other topic, I would really appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. It really helps me out. The other topic of today's video comes from Eurogamer, which says, quote, "Almost all Switch 2 users have bought Mario Kart World, as sales of new console passed 6 million worldwide." The article goes on to say, quote, "Nintendo sold 5.82 million Switch 2 consoles worldwide in its first month of release and 5.63 million copies of Mario Kart World," meaning the launch title has an attachment rate of around 97%. Now I know most people that bought Mario Kart World probably got it through the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle, but usually there are other reasons that people buy a console rather than just Mario Kart World, so 97%, meaning only 3% of people who bought a Switch 2 did not buy Mario Kart World, is actually crazy. But anyway guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of these price increases, and make sure to like this video and subscribe if you enjoy my content. But anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.